election where them do. We still they wait for the change. All the promise when they make, they don't they be like saying a fake. Where the money, where the food. Everybody want improve. Since you come, the tears and pain. We don't tire to complain. I see the bad way you've been through. You don't take Nigeria into two. 97% and 5%. You know we talk like president. They rule Nigeria with sentiment. And take your office to revenge. Oh yeah, now Oga Buhari, we dey beg you. Let Nigeria no go scatter for your head. Yes, sir. After the election, where them do, we still they wait to see the change. Before the promise when them make, they don't let me like saying a fake you. Where the money, where the food. Nigerian people want improve. But since you come, the tears and pain. We don't tire to complain. No employment for the youth. And security no improve. Inflation no they hit the roof. Still government not explain the truth. I am my brother. This change now we come to this suffer. Pray God for Nigeria. I am my sister. This government now
Yeah, you are welcome to the second part of the promised broadcast for today. So for those who missed the first part of this broadcast, they can join. You can watch the replay on my personal page here, Badero Olushola on Facebook, and you can also rewatch it again as well on Maiyegun's Diary on YouTube. So for some of you who have been, searching for Maiyegun for a while, now you can go onto YouTube and subscribe to my channel, Maiyegun's Diary. You can search for Maiyegun's videos, or you can search for Maiyegun's Diary. Subscribe, put on your notification so that whenever there's any broadcast on YouTube, you will receive the notification as well. So thank you very much for joining me. Tonight, we are going to do it a bit like we do it on Maiyegun's Diary. We will drag them. Hi. We will drag them. We will drag them simply because they have been dragging us for years, and they have been passing us from one government to another, from one criminal to another, from some gang of looters to another. And they have been doing this successfully by using every instrument of manipulation to make us submissive, subjective. Submissive and subjective. If you look at everything that we are introduced to as Nigerians when we were growing up, you realize that they were mainly submissive, subjective. Even against your wish, you will have to just do them because you are expected to do them. And same thing with the government too. The government work with the religious houses in Nigeria to further perpetuate their criminality, the further manipulation of people, using the vulnerability of people to keep themselves in power and powerful. Whenever they die, the Bible tells us that we should rejoice. So they say when the good people, when the righteous rules, the people rejoice. When the evil man dies, people rejoice as well. So, sorry, one sec. We are allowed to, simply because we have been victims of their bad governance. We have been victims of their bad governance. And that alone has pushed many of us, many of us outside Nigeria to look elsewhere for our own survival after the government after government succeeded in destroying whatever is left of the fabric that is holding Nigeria together. That is why people like us are now encouraging and advising the coming generation to not be the generation of Igbo better. So we must do everything within our capacity not to be like our own fathers, not to be like our own mothers. We should give kudos to our parents, by the way, those who supported the criminals in power ignorantly or deliberately, and those who, one way or the other, were never part of anything, but they struggled through the whole shenanigans of all these criminals, past and present, dead and alive. So we should commend them for surviving it. But one thing we should not, wherever we learn from our parents, one thing we must make sure that we never pass on to our children is to tell your children that Nigeria is one country. Please don't do it. Please. I'm begging you. Okay? You will realize it if you are one of those who actually believe that Nigeria is one. You will realize it so late. Okay? So now that you have the opportunity of hearing this, and you know that, when you build something on nothing, it won't stand. No matter how much politicians try to paint a picture, or pictures of Eldorado, pictures of how Nigeria would be, their dreams, their vision, and the rest of that. As long as Nigeria is still Nigeria, it will never work. It is all mirage. You know what I'm talking about now? It's all mirage. It's all fake. So you must not pass that to your children. Please, don't do it. Okay? Don't ever tell your children anything, any lies that your own parents told you. Any lie that any of your pastors told you about Nigeria. Any lies that any book written by any Nigerian, dead or alive, tells you about Nigeria, that gives you confidence that Nigeria can work. Nigeria will never work. Nigeria is not made to work. And the earlier you understand that, the better we begin to tell the coming generation that they should not waste their effort in trying to salvage a dead country. Nigeria is a dead country. And the reason for that is not far-fetched. The people who found themselves in Nigeria, those of us they now refer to ordinary Nigerians, there is no one Nigeria. We have many Nigerias. And in this regard, the earlier we tell ourselves this truth, the earlier we begin to teach and tell the coming generation, and the earlier we begin to reject the teachings of the older generation telling us that the problem of Nigeria is leadership. The moment we get the leadership right, then everything will fix itself. It's a lie. It's a lie they told us. It is time that we go back to where we started from the day that they pronounced the independence of Nigeria, which was in 1960. 1960, that was the year that 3 regions came together. 3 countries came together to identify as one, while they ruled themselves according to their own will and wishes. And they stuck to that until 1966, until 1966 when the military criminals took over power and changed Nigeria foundation from a normal, proper regional system of government to a unitary system of government of today. Many of us were born into that unitary system of government. We were made to believe that once you pledge to Nigeria your country, once you arise to compatriot and all that, then all you needed to do is you can die for Nigeria. You will be a great hero. Many people have died for Nigeria. What they didn't tell us was the genocide they committed, the genocide the political class committed, just because they wanted to save their estate. In 1969, 70, 71, 72, when they killed other Nigerians of Biafran extraction who wanted to leave Nigeria at the time. They hid the history from our books. Even when they made it look like nothing was going on at the time. If you go back to the to this history of how they destroy us mentally, traditionally, tribally. They destroyed everything that actually gave us identity. They destroyed our identity. They now give us an identity, a fake identity called One Nigeria. Many people have died trying to fix One Nigeria. Many people will die trying to save Nigeria. Do not be one of them. And let's do our best to tell the coming generation the truth that they must know, the truth that should help them in forming opinions, ideas on how to tackle and then how to help us end Nigeria, because it is for their own good. It is for everyone's good. Those who are still alive, we are all going to die. Don't let anybody threaten you with death, okay? Do not let anybody tell you if you wish anybody dead, you will die. Baba, forget it. If you will die, you will die. We are all going to die, okay? As you and I are talking right now, people are dying. They are carrying dead bodies from different places. In Nigeria right now, people are dying. Don't let anybody threaten you with anything, okay? So let's come back to it. They changed our orientation. They changed our view. They changed our identity. Yorubas became so engrossed with One Nigeria. Some other Igbo politicians are also so engrossed with One Nigeria because it's paying their bills. The Northerners, the political class as well, they are so engrossed with One Nigeria because it is paying their bill. But meanwhile, multitude, millions that they all swore to protect, they all swore to prosper. They were Nigerians like them. They divided Nigeria through class, the line of class. So now in Nigeria, you either belong to the rich and connected, or you belong to the rich but still very much poor. Poor in the sense that you may be rich, but if you don't have that connection became a thing that makes you a real Nigerian. You are not going to deny Nigeria until the day you face something, a near-death experience, a needless near-death experience, either from the hand of the Nigerian security agents or from the hand of the garrulous political class in Nigeria or from the hand of the criminals which the society have produced due to the failure of the political class. Until the day you become a victim, you will never really understand. You shouldn't wait to be a victim before you begin to see things. And that is why we need to tell you, Abba Kyari, to hell with him. Wherever he finds himself, I'm not really bothered. People have told me that they said I'm atheist, I don't believe in God and all of that. But you are wrong, okay? You are very wrong, and I've said this many times. I said, I am not the type that is controlled by what a mere mortal interpreted religion to be. My God, my religion, my faith, my belief, my humanity, my everything is right here in my heart. This is where I plan things. And from my mind, where I actually execute things, you know, that is my own sanctuary. If I begin to have in mind the thought that are evil, then my actions, my you know, whatever I say to people will be laced with evil. So here is my own God. If I am a very good person at art, then I will be a very good person in act as well. And I'm doing my best. I'm not a perfect person. I'm not looking out to judge anybody as well. But I have been judged on this street many times simply because of my position on so many things, including the fake pastors, the fraudulent businessmen, the fraudulent con men who studied Bible only to swindle, defraud, manipulate, the gullible. And they come after me a lot. They wish me dead. And I ask them, is that what your God told you? In a way. So, if anybody won't die, may them die. Okay? All of us could die. If Abba Kyari is going to heaven or is going to hell, it's none of my business. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing I can do. Okay? So if I die today, if I'm going to heaven or I'm going to hell, there is nothing you can do. That one won't, if I'm going to hell, by the way, for those of you Attorney General of what do you call it, Heaven Supreme Court. Some of you who studied law in heaven, and you know what will send people to hell, what will send people to paradise. So since some of you have condemned many of us that we are going to hell, we will still say it. Wherever Abakari is going, you don't have control over it. I don't have control over it. It will end up wherever it's going to end up. But so far so good. It's currently in Gudu Cemetery in Abuja. That is where they are going to put his plug on and say, here lies the man that helped facilitate the killing, the destructions, the killings of Nigerians, the destructions of Nigerians, the abduction of Nigerians, the expansion, the escalation of insecurity in Nigeria, the man who helped Buhari destroy Nigeria. Here lies the rat that helped destroy Nigeria, that helped divide Nigeria. Don't let anybody tell you the story or these fake stories. I met Abakari in London. I met Abakari in this. I spoke with Abakari on the phone. To hell with you and your Abakari. Go and call him again and talk to him. We want to talk about what he caused and those who are still going to die by what he caused in Nigeria. Because Buhari, as we have it, I was listening to Nnamdi Kanu's broadcast yesterday. So I caught up on that for some minutes, and I was sitting down here and I was like, only if some of us who are Yorubas, who are not Igbos, okay, because what I'm about to tell you now will either give you an idea of part of what Abakari caused in Nigeria, helping Buhari to divide Nigeria, to divide Nigerians. You and I will agree that Nigerians have never been this divided. You know why? Even those who are trying to defend the government, they have found themselves many times trapped in defending lies that caught up with them, that they find it difficult many times to defend the government. But only if many of you who are not Igbos, only if you can sit back and look back, sit back and imagine what they have been through in the hands of the political class in Nigeria. In all sincerity, some of us today are speaking up about the rot that is going on in Nigeria. Some of us are shouting, Oduduwa Republic, they have done this, they have done that. But most of that are coming from the political inequality in Nigeria. That this is not, especially those who are championing for Oduduwa Republic. If you ask them, if you ask me, why would you be interested in Oduduwa Republic? I'll tell you, because that is what I believe will give the Yorubas the real identity they want, their own country that will bring an accelerated development that is, that is home built for them, for us, for we Yorubas. We can choose to make Yoruba language our national language. We can decide on how we want to develop. We can, what I mean? That gives us that. That's something I want to see. We don't see that in Nigeria right now. We are so limited. Only those who are benefiting from the political, the political cake, the political class, PDP, APC, PPP, TTT, whatever they call themselves. Only those who are benefiting, or those who have benefited, will tell you and defend in Yoruba land, one Nigeria, because they want to be president. But to me, their being president will not change the status quo, because Yorubas will continue to lag behind and will continue to be underdeveloped. But if you listen carefully, if you take your time to do a fact check on every of the grievances of these Biafrans and the Igbo Nigerians of Igbo extraction, they don't like to be called Nigerians. My brothers and sisters, if what they have done to the Igbos in the last 54 years, if they have done half of that to us in Yoruba land, some of us will be worse than Nnamdi Kanu. And I'll give you instances. And how Buhari's government escalated that. Over the years, different governments, they have been very, very practical with it. What they are doing is that they will pick few outspoken people from Igbo land. They will allow them access to the wealth that other people from other regions, the political class too, they have access to. So you will see them, they will do all of that and give them a little bit of protection. Political protection is called. Whenever they fall out with this one, another one may come in and punish them all. But the way they were doing it over the years to make it look like it is true, there is one Nigeria. You get what I mean? Whenever a military officer want to take over, and it's Hausa Fulani or is from the north, he will try and pally and pick one of the top officers from the east. So everybody will feel like, yes, he's the chief of army staff, or he's the commander of blah 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 in blah blah blah's person's military coup. So for the first time, the only government that actually gave no fuck about Igbos, he told them point blank that he gave no damn about them and they can go to hell, and if they try anything, the civil war will be a joke. The only government that tried that since 1974, 75 was Buhari's government. That is why today, everywhere you see, everywhere you post anything, every Igbo man will come after you, will abuse you, will attack you, will do this, will do that. But if you sit back and think about what has happened to them, the killings, when they were being killed in the East, when they call it Biafra war, they made it look like life was normal in the rest of Nigeria. Everything was going normal. People were doing their normal job. You know what I mean? They made the Biafrans who were fighting for independence at that time, they made them look like Boko Haram. The people who wanted to break Nigeria. And anybody who want to break Nigeria, since they marched Nigeria together since 1966, that person is fighting against the interest of those who are benefiting from that one Nigeria. You are the enemy of theirs. But they train the rest of the country to believe that anybody who is against Nigeria, who is against them, or anybody who has to break up Nigeria is against the people of Nigeria. Meanwhile, they put it in place just to protect themselves. There was never anyone Nigeria. It was a joke, a complete joke that lasted too long. And they killed people who tried to break it at that time. They killed. And so many Nigerians died too. But what they try to do, the propaganda they try to do is this. In the rest of Nigeria, in Lagos, in Ibadan, in some of the Nigerian cities, in the north, in Sokoto, in Kano, propaganda were going on that they are dealing with criminals who want to break up Nigeria. So all those people who lived through that era, the news they are being fed in churches, in mosques, is that some people wanted to break Nigeria. They are enemy of Nigeria. They want to force some part of Nigeria for themselves. And we need to stop them because they are enemies. So that was the message going on. The rest of Nigeria didn't know that they are killing other Nigerians in the East. They were sending people, they were sending soldiers there to go and defend Nigeria. Many of them didn't know what they were defending. They just felt they were defending enemies. Enemies. Nobody understood what they were fighting for. Over 2 million Nigerians of Igbo extraction were killed. Many of them were not killed during the war. They were starved to death. Children, women became orphans. That was not all. After destroying them, forcing them to surrender, you know what happened next? They waged a second war against them. Your only crime is just to, the number one crime right now in Nigeria is to be a Nigerian. Then the second crime is to be an Igbo man or Igbo woman. See, don't be fooled, though. Don't let anybody fool you. The same message they were sharing during the Civil War is the same message that came back to life under Buhari. Today, everything Buhari's government represents is that an Igbo person, an average Igbo person, is an enemy. All the messages going on in the north is that if you see an Igbo person is an enemy, some of these messages are spilling over to where? To the West. But you know the wonderful thing is this: when they decided to go and kill IPOB members, you know what they were asking for? It's just something like, I can say, you know what? I am going to lead a campaign for Oduduwa Republic. Some people will love to join Oduduwa Republic. Some people will not love to join Oduduwa Republic. All you need to do is that, if he beat you, you know if he beat me. If he beat you, you know if he beat me. Oh yeah, mo go out. Mo go slug him out. No fight, no guns, no nothing. Let's go and talk to people and see how many people want to be Oduduwa Republic. Let's see how many people want to be Nigerians. They don't want to be Oduduwa Republic. You know what you will do? You say, you know what? You will want get Oduduwa Republic. Fine. You will not go and get, where you don't want Oduduwa Republic. Good. You know what we go do? All of now go out. We go count names. We go count numbers. Anyone will get the most numbers win. So, all of us will now go into the field. Like campaign. Me, I will come to your door. I'll be telling you how the country will be if we get to Oduduwa Republic. How the country will be if we have our own Biafra Republic. Then we will have our own schools. Or we will have our own scientists. Or we have our own 24-hour electricity. We can dream. We all dream, don't we? Why should anybody then march out guns, armor tank, fighter jets, begin to get ready to kill people who are asking for that if they are not animals? What are they fighting to protect? Ask yourself. In 1960, our forefathers signed regional system of government. They didn't sign one Nigeria. So what are they protecting? When those from the East now said they wanted to be their own region, they are tired of all the manipulation. But before they know, because of 1966 coup, which saw the Ahmadu Bello, the Tafawa Balewa of this world, killed during the coup. The January 1966 coup. So the retaliatory 1966 June coup, or July or thereabout, that was the one that produced Gowon. The reason why the coup, the second coup in 1966 took place was because the northern soldiers, they felt really, really bad. They felt really, really bad. The country was already teetering towards war that led to that first coup in January 1966. By June, July, August 1966, some young soldiers, including Yakubu Gowon, who was just 27 years old, they decided to go after the new government led by Aguiyi Ironsi. The hatred then was they want to kill every Igbo politician they see, Igbo military they see, any Igbo they see on the street of Kano, every Igbo man they see, anywhere in the north, they should kill all of them. And after that, they will go back to their northern region. Muna keep una Nigeria. You kill our leaders who fought to get independence for us. You kill them, and you want to rule all of us like that. You want to take over all of us. So the thought of an Igbo man is now the military supreme leader, Aguiyi Ironsi. So these people are going to feel like they have conquered us. So, no way. Instead of them to feel like they have conquered us, we are going to kill them. Then we are going to go back to our region. Then we are going to start war and defend ourselves because they may want to come for us. That was the plan of the second coup in 1966. The coup that produced Yakubu Gowon. The hatred was so deep that so many people died. What they let you read in the book is they are just it's just the story about politicians killed, the generals killed, including the Yoruba generals that were killed as well. So they called it retaliatory coup, and immediately they finish. When they realized that Aguiyi Ironsi has been killed in Ibadan with Adekunle Fajuri, what happened next? Theophilus Danjuma and the rest of them, they ran back to the north. They were preparing to defend themselves like a guerrilla wars. You know, it would be like Nigeria. Whoever was in charge then would try to force the north back to Nigeria. That was what they were preparing for. They were not preparing to take over Nigeria at all. They didn't have the capacity. They didn't have anywhere with that. So they ran back. Then the British ambassador to Nigeria, and so many other foreign dignitaries ran after them. Nigeria was left without any leader for about 2 days. Nobody knew who was in charge of Nigeria. They've killed everybody. They've killed all the leaders. They've killed everyone. They've killed all the senior military officers. So they had to call them. They ran after them. Say, you cannot just live like that. You will suffer. You will suffer. You have a lot to gain being part of Nigeria. You can even nominate one of yourselves to be the president or anything you want to call him, so that we will give you backing. You cannot just run away. If you run away, the whole country will be looking for you and the rest of that. So they now said, who are they going to call? Who is going to be the president then? 27-year-old Yakubu Gowon. So, you remember what led to that coup now. You remember what their plan was. But immediately, they realized that they could get the British backing. They could get a few backings from other foreign diplomats and the rest of that, the rest of the countries all over the world. They quickly moved back. And Yakubu Gowon was pushed forward as the new president and the new leader of Nigeria. So that gave them the leverage to now feel secured and safe, that at least for now, nobody can come near and retaliate what they have done, the people they have killed. The program that happened in 1966. The killings continued under Gowon until Ojukwu decided to challenge Gowon. It was, according to history, it was actually the only administrator appointed at the time that actually disagreed with Gowon being the president. So he was nominated to lead the Eastern region. And quickly, they introduced divide and rule. So instead of regions, Yakubu Gowon divided Nigeria into states, 12 states. And the hatred, the propaganda continued. So an average Igbo man became an endangered species, a suspect that every other person must be very, very careful of. The political class continued with that until Ojukwu said he was tired and he declared Biafra. But before then, just not to bore you with some of the stories that you know already. So when Ojukwu declared Biafra, it was like another opportunity for them to begin the killings. It was like a great opportunity. They were waiting that, now that they have killed all the Igbo leaders, they have killed all the Igbo politicians they could see at the time, and they've run back to the north, they were waiting that Igbos who are in charge of Nigeria will wage war and come for them so that they can fight and possibly kill more Igbo people that comes to them. But no, miraculously, they were given power. They were invited back. They took over power. Wow. Then, Igbos are now trying to say they have strength. They can fight. They want to divide Nigeria. Really? This is an opportunity to kill them again. And Ojukwu did everything, including every other propaganda that they could get. Remember, the British government that gave them the invitation to come back in the first place were always there. And eventually, they did everything diplomatically to stop every supply that could have probably defeated Nigeria at the time. Today, maybe they would have been celebrating 50 years of Biafra. Honestly speaking, no joke. These guys were manufacturing everything to defend themselves. International communities stopped every supplies to the place. And that is why today they will keep telling you that Biafra land is landlocked. Do not be deceived. There is nothing like South-South in any world map. And that is very true. There is nothing like South-South. Our forefathers, when they wanted to fight for independence, they didn't fight for independence based on the North, the South, the North, the East, or what have you. No. They did it regionally and they called it regions. In fact, at the time, the Western region was so far stretched that it actually got to today's Edo State and a part of today's Delta State at the time.
sincerely speaking, the power, the stretch of the regional structure that that our forefathers took into independence in 1960. So what happened? The Biafrans decided to go. Those who are in charge of the political power in Nigeria, led by Ojukwu, saw the opportunity to kill them again, because they couldn't really kill them the way they wanted to kill them, for their military killing their own political leaders in 1966. So it was just like a flex. Let's kill them. Kill them. Nobody will know. Bury them. Something happened in Onitsha, where they marched people. Something happened in Delta as well, where they marched people. They lied to them to come out and surrender. Surrender. This is Nigerian Peace Corps. Surrender. Come out. Asaba. It happened in Asaba. It's called the Asaba Massacre. You know what they did? They marched all the men after the war. They marched all the men and they killed all of them. That genocide was actually perpetrated by the battalion led by Muritala Muhammad, the man that is in your currency money today, so that you will never forget him, because they painted him as a hero to you, but he was actually a criminal, including Olusegun Obasanjo, who later got the honor for ending the war. He is also a war criminal. So they changed the stories. They changed the history. They manipulated the everything, because many of them are still alive. So they didn't want you to read all of this, so that you will never see them as heroes again, because they painted them as heroes, while many of you are actually alive at the time, who know the story, are also helping them to share the lies at the time. So they killed them. And when they realized that they couldn't kill them the way they wanted, the much they wanted, they launched hunger war on them. They cut out every supply. Today, what they did back then is actually what is called war crime. You don't starve war, you don't starve war survivors, the civilians who are trapped in war. You don't stop medication for them. You try to shield them and protect them. That is what the rule of engagement is. But in Nigeria, the criminals, they went berserk. As they were killing Igbos in the east, as they were killing them in the east, they were killing some of them in the north, right? And eventually they starved over 2 million of them to death. As if that is not enough. Economically, when Gowon said, no winner, no vanquish. Let us rehabilitate, reintegrate, and then, rehabilitate the Igbos back to Nigeria. Let us forgive and forget and come back to one. Remember, while Igbos are fighting for their lives in the east, defending what is left of them, in the west and in the north, the propaganda machine that was going on was that Nigerian government is trying to stop Ojukwu rebels. Meanwhile, they were busy killing even those armless people, destroying and raping and killing, just like Boko Haram are killing people right now. That was what Nigerian military were doing in the east. So when they finally ended the war, and Ojukwu absconded, and his deputy surrendered rather to Nigeria. Let us bring them back. They are our brothers. We love them. Oh, we love Igbos. Oh, Igbos are very good people. Igbos are this and that. They waged the second war. That one is now the Cold War that has lasted longer than the real civil war, the economic war they waged against them. But somehow, they have always been excelling. You have to give that to them. You know what they did to them after the war? If you were a millionaire in pounds, you know what I mean now? Millionaire, they were Igbo businessmen, rich billionaires in pound sterling. So when the war rages and it became so big, many of them had to relocate back to the east. Some of them died during the war. Many of them didn't come back. Some of their properties were sold off to those. They were sold off as spoils of war to so many people who are today's billionaires, who are today's Yoruba billionaires, who are today's Hausa billionaires, who are today's billionaires from so many other tribes except Igbos. You know what happened? If you had billions before the war, after the war, if you manage to survive and you come back to the West, you come back to the Western region, you know what happened? If you can prove that indeed you had a bank account, if you can prove that you have a property, then they will give you 20 pounds sterling. To further destroy Igbos, before the war, Nigeria was spending pounds at the time, pound sterling. After the war, Nigeria changed to naira. So that even if you have money that you saved away, because at that time, when the war was going on, there were Biafran currency, Biafran money that people were using to trade within Biafra land. These guys were manufacturing weapons. They were manufacturing cars. They were manufacturing, anti-aircraft weapons. They didn't leave their land. From their land, they are using scrap metals, bomb destroyed car scraps. They were making weapons. They were making, So if you had kept billions, or you kept millions, or you kept some sterling, even during the war, and you managed to be spending Biafran money at the time, and now the war is over, there will be no Biafra again. So what will happen? So let me go and take my pound sterling, the Nigerian money I saved before the war. The money became useless. Even if you carry bags of pound sterling to Nigerian banks to change them to naira, you will be given 20 naira probably. So they believe that they needed to destroy them politically, that they will never have the opportunity of any time of gaining power, because they believe that there will still be some Igbos who are going to pay back the killings that took place before 1966, the killings that have been taking place in Nigeria since 1966, and the propaganda that Nigerian government have been selling from government to government, from government to government, from government to government. So some of these guys believe that there could still be some Igbos that are going to remember, and if they should gain power in Nigeria, and they should by mistake be like them, they will finish them. So they know what they did. So they needed to make sure they never gain power. The most they will ever become, the most they will ever come close to any power will be to deputize anybody. Even if they have to deputize a shoemaker, that shoemaker will be the president. The professor from that Igbo land will be the deputy president. Yorubas are lucky because they managed to cut themselves the deal. I'm talking about the Yoruba political class. But sometimes we mix them together. I've been called names because I'm a Yoruba man, even though I've been victims of the rotten system too. Same way you have been victims. But at the same time, if you want to look so deep into why the Igbos are always angry, you don't know. Some of you think it's about PDP, APC alone. Do you really think it's about Buhari? They hate Buhari alone. It is like a bottled anger, suppression, oppression. They've done everything to destroy them. Some of them that many of us cannot stand. Today we are fighting because inequality in the political settings of Nigeria. That is why most Yorubas are fighting. That is why someone like me would rather support the Oduduwa Republic for political equality and for proper development of the regions, what our forefathers signed up for. But if you meet an average Igbo man, he has more deeper wound that is beyond politics. He's been a victim. Many of them have been victims of an orchestrated system, rigged deliberately. It's like a master plan. If a Yoruba man become president, an Igbo man become vice president, Igbos will still suffer. It is programmed that way. The only way they can be in charge of themselves is when they have their own country. Because that was what they signed up for in the first place. That was what Yoruba signed up for in the first place. That was what the Northerners, the Hausas, Fulanis, that was what they signed up for too. In the first place, they didn't sign up for one Nigeria. Nobody signed up for one Nigeria. So in fact, it doesn't matter. If an Igbo man become vice president of Nigeria, Igbos will still continue to suffer economically. They will still continue to suffer politically because it is programmed that way. And anyone who try to change it, you will lose that power. They will make sure you lose that power. You will go for it. Goodluck Jonathan was trying to swing to the side of this neglected region for years. He was trying. He gave appointments to those who came from the region so that they could use that to help their people. But they didn't do it. They looted the money. Do you know who paid for it? Goodluck Jonathan paid for it. Because he tried. He wanted to try to change the landscape. To allow that economic freedom, political access, to expose the region to more power. Diezani became someone they vilified so much, and you will think Diezani actually stole more than Buhari. Meanwhile, they are all evil. So those Jonathan gave the opportunity to, they also punished their people. Because that is what the system is programmed to be. It is not programmed to work for you. The ones that punishes us Yorubas will continue to battle with poverty, will continue to battle with inequality, will continue to battle with underdevelopment, just like the rest of Nigeria. But Igbos are targeted. There is no doubt about it. And they have been trying. Even some of them who have succeeded, who have made good money for themselves outside Nigerian favor, they are also doing a lot to at least show it to Nigeria that we can be brothers. We can be prosperous together. We can be lovers of one another. We shouldn't be this hateful. We shouldn't be this targeted. Earpiece invested his money trying to show to Nigeria that an average Igbo man can be trusted. So many other Igbo billionaires today, after all of that, they still manage to produce billionaires. 50 years after that, billionaires, successful billionaires, businessmen, and many of them are still trying to prove to Nigeria, you can trust us, Igbos, do this, do that. But have you seen any changes towards the Igbos? You just need to sit back and relax and look deep. If you don't look deep, you will think they are just crying too much because you have never been in their shoes. Some of you that will join me to abuse Buhari, that will join me to criticize Buhari, you are doing so because I gave you facts of what they are failing to do to make the country better. Because when they make the country better, then Yoruba land will be better, safe and prosperous. And if they don't do that, we will all continue to wallow in that backwardness. That is the inequality, the political inequality. But for Igbos, it is more than that. And some of you who are Yorubas watching me right now, my brothers and sisters, some of you are personally convinced that an average Igbo man is your enemy. Simply because you have been made, you have been programmed to see it that way. To see it the other way would be a real big job. And an average Igbo man who wasn't even alive during the Civil War, but his uncles survived the Civil War. His aunties survived the Civil War. His grandfather, his grandmother survived the Civil War. They related the history, the horrific experience of the Civil War to him. He didn't live through that time. He wished he was alive that time so that he could fight and defend those killed. Now, he is coming from that background that when they were being killed, in the other part of Nigeria, children were going to schools, people were hosting their normal weekend parties, musicians are hosting their different new releases. In fact, some musicians are even singing about the war, even though they never visited the war, while they were being killed. So to him, while they were being killed, your parents, your grandparents, they were protecting what today has become what you call your own pride. While their own women, their own grandmothers, their own daughters, were being raped and killed by Nigerian soldiers simply because they said they want to leave. You were pursuing your parents were working in Lagos. They were paying their house rent. Nobody felt anything. You were going to your normal school. They are supplying your milk. You are eating your breakfast. You are just coming back home every evening to read about how many people killed in Biafra war. How many people killed there. Nigeria is winning. Nigeria, let's support Nigerian soldiers. Nigerian soldiers are killing the rebels. Now, meanwhile, they are killing civilians too. Those who came from that background, when they come to comment and vent their anger, the most you can do is just ignore. Because you guys, we are coming from different background. I want Nigeria to be divided so that we can go back to the drawing board. What our forefathers signed up for, the development that our forefathers signed up for, which brought the first television station in Africa, the first television station before France, a colonial master. That kind of that kind of mentality, that kind of foresight or foresightedness that our forefathers signed up for to be part of Nigeria. They didn't sign up for one Nigeria. They signed up to develop. While we were building first television station, while we were giving free education in Southwest, while everyone is contributing to develop the healthcare system in Southwest, in the western region of the whole, in the north, the northern region, the northern leaders, they were also teaching their own children on so many other things that, we know the result today. So that was what our own forefathers signed up for. They didn't sign up for one Nigeria. Your fathers, your mothers, they lied to you. They lied to you to tell you that Nigeria used to be so beautiful. What they were telling you then was when each region was being led and, controlled by individuals from those regions without any interference or any kind of interference rather from any region, from anybody. There is no Kaduna Kaba. There is no Daura Kaba. There is no Odis Kaba. When our forefathers signed up to be part of Nigeria. So when your father tells you Nigeria used to be good, that they used to give them a cup of milk, used to give them a tin of pig milk, very thick, what do you call it, pig milk. When they start telling you the stories of how King of Saudi Arabia and his family used to use used to be patients in UCH Ibadan, they are not talking about a glorious Nigeria. They are talking about a glorious region that our forefathers signed up for. They are not talking about one Nigeria. The story of one Nigeria began in 1966 when military destroyed the independent constitution, the Republican constitution that recognizes all of us as independent country inside the country. When they destroyed it in 1966, that was when one Nigeria story began. Everybody now began one Nigeria. That was when they began, Nigerian musicians began singing and all of that about one Nigeria. There was nothing like one Nigeria. It's a lie that our parents told us. It's a lie that so many people are still telling you. If you believe it, you are lying. You are just falling a mugu for that. Let's come back home and come back to where we are going to start the jibings and all of that, all the jabs. Be prepared at this point. This is where I'm going to go mental. This is where I will no longer use any respectful words. This is the moment. I am no longer going to be nice. This is the moment I'm going to feel like I am talking to myself. Therefore, I can speak my mind the way I feel. This is the moment that if you feel like you can't take in any insults that are going to come out of my mouth to all these politicians, both Buhari, Abba Kyari, Maman Daura, and the rest of those criminals, dead or alive. My dear brothers and sisters, this is the moment we should part ways. This is the moment you should stop watching this video. Now, if you are going to be offended by what I am going to say about the religious leaders, the fake pastors, and the rest of them as I go haywire on all of them now. This is the moment that we should part ways. Thank you very much. If you continue watching this video from this moment, it means that you have agreed to take in everything that your ears are going to hear today. So, do not fight anybody. Do not abuse anybody here. If you do, you will be kicked out. Okay? Express yourself as you wish at this junction. There will be no holds bar. Grab your seat, grab your popcorn, and if you have some juice, take a drip of that or a sip of that now. Thank you very much. So I want to believe that everyone still watching me right now agrees that they won't go crazy with what we are about to say. And then I'm going to open the line to take in few calls. So for those who might want to call in, you can look, you can check the screen. And, you'll see the numbers there. You can call in and, yeah, just a moment. Let me get that on. Abba Kyari is dead. People are saying, may his soul rest in peace. Some are saying, may his soul rest in pieces. It doesn't matter what you say. You don't have a say or any role in what will happen to Abba Kyari. He is dead. Once you are dead, you can look at the body, you can cry, you can do all of that. Once you are dead, my brothers and sisters, what comes after that? Now only you. I am yet to see anybody will come back, tell us, say, oh boy, you know, easy for heaven, no. Baba, you need to get this, that and that back. Everybody will go. The rest of us are just trying to see if there's a better world or a better life after this. I won't even be life. It's all confusing. But whatever it is, you don't have a say on what will happen to anybody. Okay? Except if you actually take the gun and shoot someone and kill them directly. You don't really have a say if someone is going to die or if someone is going to live. So, Abba Kyari, a dead terrorist who helped terrorist Muhammadu Boko Haram. Abba Kyari, which I would prefer to continue to call Abba Kyari because I don't want to give him a name. There's a saying, they say, don't say anything. No, they're saying that in Nigeria again. They will say, don't say any evil thing about a dead person. Do you know that they have been lying to you? That's part of the manipulation I'm talking about. That is why it is very good to read wide. The actual quote is, you should not tell a lie about a dead person. Now, listen to all the politicians writing all the jargons, writing all the stories. Abba Kyari is a good man. Abba Kyari was working 24 hours for Nigeria. Abba Kyari works 24/7. Abba Kyari resume office every 8 a.m. Abba Kyari loved Nigeria so much. Abba Kyari died serving Nigeria. You see all those epistles. All those lies, all those nonsense they are dishing out there. They are all lies. And what you should know is that you should never tell a lie about a dead person. Some of them want us to tell lies. To say, Abba Kyari is a wonderful person. Oh, I didn't know that Abba Kyari was so loving. Oh dear, oh my God. Oh, I feel so sorry now, Sha. Oh, I didn't know that Abba Kyari was paying the school fees of 150 children in Abuja. Hey, Abba Kyari, what a wonderful man. Meanwhile, they are lying. That is a sin. That if you are one of those who have been telling us Abba Kyari is this, Abba Kyari is that, just because you want to sound good, you want to join the you want to join the bandwagon. You know, the bandwagon of those who want to the political correctness. You know, those who love to be politically correct. Those ones that will say, don't say any evil thing about any dead person. It can be your turn tomorrow. All of us go die. I can die tomorrow. I can die after this broadcast. I can die while I'm doing this broadcast. You can't do anything about that. You can't stop it. You can't make me die now. You can't make me die tomorrow. You can't make me die next year. You have no control over it. I can't make you die. Except if I have gone. That's the only thing I can. The only people who have control over life, and they do, I mean over life, are those who are holding gun. You know what I mean now? I can hand a life if I'm holding a gun. If I point a gun at someone now, I can hand a life there. Even though I can't create a life. But apart from that, apart from physical, you cannot do anything to anybody just because you wish them they die. So big body here, big sense here, go get sense back. Don't threaten us with death. We will die. All of us go die. When I go talk. Are you with me? Abacha died. People celebrated. People still lived. Some of you who celebrated Abacha death. By Yaradua, as many people felt so bad that Yaradua died. Some people celebrated. El Rufai of this world celebrated that Yaradua died. Did El Rufai not become governor? Is El Rufai not positive of COVID-19 right now? Does that mean that El Rufai is going to die? If he die like Abba Kyari, it's not because you wish him dead. It's because he's going to die. Something's going to kill man. And something will kill man. So don't threaten us with death. Stop that nonsense. And read your book. They say don't tell a lie about a dead man. That's what the sentence is. It's not don't mock a dead man. Don't laugh about a dead man. Don't it can be your turn tomorrow. Nigerian mentality. All of us no be slave. No be all of us. Be Buhari din or Buhari didn't. It's not all of us that are obedient fools or humble slave or sophisticated morons. So don't blackmail us. He died because we will all die. But he helped others quickly to meet their death by his actions. And that is why, as we talk about him, as we attach him and link him up to the lifeless Buhari, then we can possibly reach out to those who are still alive and tell them, look, all of us go die. But if you die, we will celebrate your death. And if our prayers are answered, you will die alone. You will die alone, scared. No family member, no children, no wife, nobody. Strangers. You will die scared. Because that is how many Nigerians have died. Simply because of the decisions of these criminals. So don't let anybody threaten you with any death. Some of us will die by accident. Some of us will die simply because we fall sick of malaria. Some of us will die on Okada. Some of us will die of hypertension. Some of us will die of a cardiac arrest. All death, not death. Something must kill you. And it go happen. When it go happen, it's what you don't have control over. If you like, sleep in the church or sleep in the mosque. Go and sleep in Mecca or sleep in Kaaba. Go to Jerusalem and start living inside the tomb. The tomb where Jesus rose. You will still die. We will all die. So if you care about what will happen when you die, just do good when you are here, so that when we talk about your death, we can remember what you did. Many people have died. And then we do talk about them. But this one that just died, in own death, is the consequence of their own criminality, their own incompetence, and their own greed too, and millions of Nigerians have died because of that. I wish they can be publishing the names, the numbers of those who die of malaria every day in Nigeria. They've given us a number. They said 870-something Nigerians die of malaria every day. Who the hell is Abakiari? A man that died alone, that died like a poisoned rat. You know, when you poison food and you give it to a rat, you know, when the poison begin to work on the rat will begin to have kidney failure. Then at the end of the day, will begin to swelling, sweating. And before you know it, when you see the dead rat, you won't even be able to touch it. You have to use stick. To push it and get your packer on. Yeah, that's how it died. It died alone. Many Nigerians have died running away from Boko Haram. Many Nigerians have been kidnapped, and they have had their throat slaughtered simply because the criminals in Abuja were profiting from Boko Haram war. Instead of defeating and ending Boko Haram, they were profiting from it. Buratai the butcher, the chief of army staff in Nigeria today, the one that is taking picture in Borno right now, saying that he's fighting and is going after Boko Haram. When the Chadian army, when they pursued Boko Haram out of their country, and they pursued them to Borno in Nigeria, we saw that on video. We saw how everything went, right? Nigeria, what do you call it? Let's even give him a name. I always call him Buratai the butcher. But we can actually give him a very good name, because some people actually felt like he's in Borno right now fighting Boko Haram and he's going to end Boko Haram now. But he's not there to end Boko Haram. He's there to protect the Boko Haram members that are running away from the Chadian army. The Chadian army are back in their country now. So Buratai is there to protect those who are running away from Boko Haram. But they will make it look like they are fighting Boko Haram. We've seen our soldiers. Our soldiers are fighting. We saw there was a video where we saw our soldiers fighting the terrorists. There is no any air support. There is no nothing. They were just there trapped, shooting their way out of Boko Haram then. And Buratai is in Borno taking pictures, wearing black, telling them he wants to end Boko Haram. So they brought this criminal, Buratai, after he made his billions from being a procurement officer for Nigerian army. And at the end of the day, making his billions to buy properties for his family, for himself, for his two wives. The funniest part is that he didn't even deny it. He didn't even deny that he bought properties in Dubai for himself and for his wife. He just told us, he said, well, yeah, I did it, but I'm a snake venom merchant. I sell snake venom. Who the hell, what the hell is that? He's a soldier. A soldier. A procurement officer for Nigerian army. Then they said Nigerian army didn't buy weapons for our soldiers. That is why they couldn't defeat Boko Haram. Then the man who is in charge of procurement is buying property in Dubai. So how do you link the two? It doesn't make any sense. But instead of him to be probed, when Dasuki was arrested for wasting Boko Haram, weapons money, a conjecture, a pure misrepresentation. After all, Buratai got promoted. Buratai the butcher. So he's in Borno now, forming Daura James Bond, forming Daura 007, forming Maiduguri James Bond right now in Borno, telling them that he's going to end Boko Haram. The same thing he did 5 years ago when Buhari sent him to Borno. And they said they have relocated the military headquarters, military headquarters to Borno to go and defeat Boko Haram within 3 months. We have been on it. They have spent over 4 trillion naira. 4 trillion naira. They have received over 500 billion naira worth of weapons from donors from all over the world. Countries who have donated weapons to Nigeria. But guess what? Whenever those weapons get to Nigeria, Boko Haram members will invade Nigerian armory. They will invade Nigerian cantonment, kill soldiers. So soldiers will run away. Boko Haram will cut away all the weapons. Today, Boko Haram members are driving around armored tank Who sold them armor tank? Who delivered it to them? They got them from the Nigerian government. That is the military that Buratai the Butcher, Maiduguri James Bond. That is what is managed to make Nigeria military, because it wasn't probed after looting money, after stealing, making himself so rich. It wasn't probed. He was promoted with the condition that you will protect Buhari's presidency. We will not let anybody take over Buhari's government again. We have to do everything to ensure that we protect Buhari, even if we have to kill Nigerians who ever tried to protest. I'm coming back to why the hatred is so much, and nobody should blame any Igbo that is venting anger on the death of Abba Kyari anywhere. Just ask yourself, can you take what they have taken so far? So Buratai, the Butcher, Maiduguri James Bond, was promoted to Chief of Army Staff instead of being promoted to Kirikiri or promoted to Kuje prison for leading the worst haste ever seen in any government under Goodluck Jonathan. He participated in that and made so much money for himself. He didn't go to jail under Buhari. He got promoted. That is why Buratai the Butcher, Maiduguri James Bond, is so loyal to Buhari and Buhari alone. That is why it was easier when the Shiites protested against Buhari. That automatically made Abba Kyari the de facto president under Buhari. That made him automatically, he felt triggered. Hey, I hope they will not come and overthrow Buhari. I hope they, you know what? Kill them. Buratai the Butcher, Maiduguri James Bond, was in Zaria that year. And the Shiites, they were protesting in Zaria. Maiduguri James Bond was coming in convoy, being newly promoted to Chief of Army Staff. He just got his new sharpshooter security agents guiding him. Then all of a sudden, these people, they're just blocking the road. Why would you block the road of Maiduguri James Bond? That's so bad. You know what happened? Buratai the Butcher quickly grabbed one of his miscreant soldier following him to turn on the camera of his phone, and he came down. He went down to talk to those who are blocking the road, who said, the Shiites, to address them and tell them to let the road free, to record that on video, so that when they finish, that was his first action. No? Who promoted Buratai to Chief of Army Staff? Who made Buratai Chief of Army Staff? Abba Kyari, the de facto president of Nigeria under Buhari. Since Abba Kyari pledged to serve Buhari and protect the presidency and make sure that what happened to Buhari in 1985 or 1986 rather does not happen again. So any threat to Buhari, whoever make any threat, they will say if you protest, if you say anything in the papers that can make people ask questions or that can make people want to protest against Buhari, you will be arrested. If anybody hosts any protest anywhere, they will be shot and killed. That was the pledge Abba Kyari received from Buratai the Butcher. Then it can be business as usual. They can continue to make money from this whole thing. So Buratai was promoted to become Chief of Army Staff. And after recording the video of him talking to the Shiites peacefully, and they ended the video, Buratai entered his car. The Shiites opened the road. Buratai drove away. His convoy, everybody drove away. As he was driving away from the scene in Zaria, he ordered the nearby military cantonment in Zaria to move down to that same road that he left the Shiites on. He called them to move down there. And when the army got there, they didn't ask any question. The Shiites were continuing with they continued their procession, they call it. Their usual procession where they will line up on the side of the road, and there are so many. They continued from nowhere. Nigerian soldiers, they started arriving. We have the video. I'm not making this up. The Nigerian soldiers, the battalion they called, minutes after Buratai left, after he spoke to them and addressed them, he left. His convoy left. Then the next thing, trucks of soldiers began coming down to that same road. The soldiers started coming down. And the soldiers started coming down from their trucks. Honestly speaking, you won't believe it. People began running. Some who could run were running among the Shiites. Those who were wondering what is going on. What is going on? What is this? Are they going to arrest us? What is going to happen? Those who waited, those ones watched the soldiers, took position. You know, the same way they killed IPOB members, the same way they killed Biafrans, the same way they claim to be superior, the same way they told you to be very careful of Nigerian soldiers. They are very, very mean. Oh, Nigerian soldiers are be very careful. Oh, if soldiers slap you, you know that fear they put in you is because that's what they are made of. They made the soldiers. They build them to protect the system, no matter who is in charge. Okay, the soldiers were made not to protect you. They are built to kill you if you dare try to challenge the system. That's what they're made. So they all received honors. They became major. They became general. They became colonel. Through all this madness, killing other Nigerians. Not because they fought any war. It's not some of the generals you have in Nigeria. They didn't fight any war. Some of them, after the civil war, after killing 2 million Nigerians of Igbo extraction, after killing Nigerians, they awarded themselves different titles. Buhari became Major General. Muritala became Major General. Obasanjo became Major General. All those medals they put on their shoulders, they are medals that awarded them for killing Nigerians, their fellow Nigerians. Those general this, general that you are seeing. Today, they have been fighting Boko Haram war for 10 years. Because it's a business, right? The war will never end. Maybe when they finally end the Boko Haram war, they will begin to give themselves another medal. Major General, Colonel, Major General. Meanwhile, they don't even have the power to go after the Boko Haram alone. They are also killing innocent people in the north as we speak right now. Even though many of them are on social media defending Buhari, they are being killed in some of these northeastern states by soldiers, Nigerian soldiers. After Boko Haram have killed people and all of that, Nigerian soldiers will come in and they will begin to raid the villages and they will be shooting the young people. They suspected them as Boko Haram members. So Buratai the butcher, as the chief of army staff, ordered the soldiers to come and deal with Nigerians who block his road. The new chief of staff. How dare you block the road? You know they have succeeded in making so many people slaves mentally. There are so many slaves in suits. There are some of our brothers and sisters that they have destroyed their psychological capacity. Okay? They have destroyed their self-esteem, the economy, hardship, the situation in the country. So many other horrible things they have passed through in their lives. Many of us have passed through so many things. So it is just the grace of God that we are still alive, by the way. And then hopefully we'll be alive longer enough, as much as will be granted. So the grace that not all, any of us has any control over in a way. He ordered the soldiers to start shooting the Shiites. They took position. Someone gave order. Attention! Position, gun! Bow down! Ready? Get gun! Fire! They are firing at Nigerians who were protesting, the Shiites. Like they are fighting war for about 30 minutes. When people began running here and there, yes, we are winning. Nigerian soldiers, powerful soldiers, you bloody civilians, you dare try us, don't try us. They carried the gun, they ran after them. And they started going into the houses where those Shiites were hiding. They started going into hall. They started going into churches. They started going into different places that people were hiding. And they were shooting them. Bah, 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 bah. You know Nigerian soldiers, you know how it be now. They killed over 1,000 that day. For hours. Hours. They are flagging our broadcast. They tried to stop it just there now, and they interrupted it as well. So, well, they can try. That's why they stopped Maiyegun's diary. And, yeah, they can only try. They killed over 1,000. Do you know how they covered it up? The same El Rufaya of Kaduna. Little Finger. They always call him Little Finger. Little Finger. Accidental civil servant. Or accidental public servant, he called himself. Little Finger. He became governor in 2015 himself. So he was the one who worked with Buratai's team, and they dug shallow graves for those they killed, the bodies they could recover. At the end of the day, the Shiites were able to recover over 300 bodies of dead Nigerians killed. Just a needless show of force, show of arrogance, show of power. As if that was not enough. Immediately, IPOB Nnamdi Kanu declared that, with this guy, with the information coming out of, with the information I have about APC, about Buhari, and about the intention of a man called Abba Kyari, and the intention of those who have now formed the cabal, those we now famously call the cabal. Nnamdi Kanu then alerted the Igbos once again. He said, the killings are about to start again. All the past leaders of Nigeria since the end of the Civil War, many of them have pretended to love Igbo, even though they are killing them in different ways they can for years. They are pretending to love them. They have tried. They've pretended to. But you see this Buhari that is coming. Jesus. Igbos should be alerted. You should all get ready right now to defend Biafra. In fact, it is time for us to go and ask for Biafra again. Boom. They got triggered. Sharp. Buratai, the butcher. His hands became itchy. He became unsettled. He was like, yeah, this is the reason why I got promoted. This is the reason why I got promoted. Jesus, this is it. This is the opportunity. The Igbos, they want to challenge Buhari. Who them be? They won't challenge Buhari. We will kill them. Buratai the butcher. Remember, Buhari was still battling with Boko Haram. While Nnamdi Kanu was asking the Igbos to come together, to unite together, this time around, to ask and never look back for a Biafra, their own republic, that will take them, or else, hey, do you think you have been marginalized in Nigeria, Abi? Wait for it. You see this Buhari's government, you Igbos, you will become more endangered in Nigeria. They said, Nnamdi Kanu is this, is that. Why can't you say something about Nnamdi Kanu abusing Yorubas? If you are one of those who still believe that I should say something about Nnamdi Kanu abusing Yorubas and all of that, don't worry. When this video ends, watch it over again. I have addressed that. Let us go our way. Buhari will kill you. Buhari is this, and all these other politicians are not there. All of them will support him. This and that will happen. Blah, 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 blah. Hey! Abba Kyari, hurriedly, quickly, just told Buhari, Baba Buhari, you see those Igbo boys that failed to vote for you, those ones that said you want to Islamize Nigeria, Those Igbo people. You know they didn't vote for you. They hate you so much. They want to break up Nigeria now. They are now getting ready to fight war. And you know Buhari is not educated. Buhari is lifeless. Buhari is just a mere vegetable. But there is something that will continue to live inside Buhari. It will be the agenda, to continue the agenda of anything Igbo that will ever give power to them in any way that will give them any independence, to remember what happened in 1966. Anything that will empower them, to make them so powerful to take revenge of what happened in 1966 on us. You must do everything as a northerner to stop it, whether you are a Fulani or whether you are not a Fulani, whether you are Hausa or not. As long as you belong to the political class, the elite from the north, you must do everything. So they ran to Buhari. Buhari. And they wake him up from where he's sleeping, because he doesn't do anything. Remember in my first part of this video, I told you how Buhari handed over power to Abba Kyari. But this time around, Abba Kyari couldn't declare war on Igbos without Buhari knowing. Because if anybody hold Buhari at all, Buhari can tell them that maybe they want to cause war again. Because that is what Abba Kyari told him. Igbos want to cause war again. Oh, there is one boy, the boy is in London. Oh, this young man is asking Igbos to leave Nigeria. That is war. That is another civil war. Buhari, what should we do? They say, do everything to stop them. Anything, everything. Stop them. Even if we have to kill them again, like we did in 1969. Yes, do it. Kill them. They must not go anywhere. Let's teach them the lesson we taught their parents. Evil people. So what happened? They mobilized Buratai. Buratai the butcher. Maiduguri James Bond. The man they say will end Boko Haram in 3 months. But for 5 years, the man is now growing fat. Is now using walking stick. Is now a celebrity chief of army staff in Nigeria. Quick. They put one net and the rest, so they say, you know that operation for East? We are going to call it Operation Python Dance. Pythons don't dance. But it is just to disguise the evil they want to go and commit there. And my dear brothers and sisters, evil happened. Evil happened on the day they descended on Nnamdi Kanu's house. The top story was they invaded Nnamdi Kanu's house. They killed people in his house. They killed his family dog, and they kidnapped him. We didn't know how he managed to escape from them that came to kill him, because the other was every person you see that says he's a Biafran or is an IPOB member, and even those that are not claiming to be Biafran or IPOB member as well, just make sure that they feel the heat. Kill anybody that you can kill. What is that? They want to have Biafra under Buhari, so they want to break Nigeria. Because to them, they just want to break up Nigeria. Nobody wanted to listen to why they want to have Biafra. Nobody was interested. Nigeria was not interested, because Nigeria was not built to negotiate. Meanwhile, Nigeria, our forefathers joined Nigeria through negotiation. It was negotiation that brought us together. Now you can't negotiate. You can't sit down and talk about Nigeria again. You can't talk about your interest again. You can't say, no, we are not interested anymore. It is now like we have been kidnapped by terrorists, the political class that put gun. They work with the pastors. They work with the religious leaders, the Muslims, the Islamic scholars. They work with traditionalists. They work with everybody to make sure you and I will never, ever, ever, ever ask them the right questions ever again. So if you do, you will be killed. Boom. Let Operation Python go and dance in the East. Then they now recruited people who can do the job. Those who will not speak the language. Those who are not from the East. They make sure that the Southerners, the Eastern soldiers, the soldiers of Nigerian, Nigerian soldiers who are of Eastern extractions, they make sure those ones were drafted to go and fight Boko Haram. Then those their own repented Boko Haram fighters. We didn't know that those they sent to the east, those ones who were killing the Igbos in 2017 when they invaded Nnamdi Kanu's house. And you were seeing the videos of young Nigerians, young Biafrans being killed, being tortured. They are rolling in the mud. They are making them do horrible things. Because what they wanted to do is that you people are animals. We will treat you like animals. They are not seeing them as human beings. They are not seeing them as Nigerians who have rights to negotiate their stay in the contraption, the open concentration camp called Nigeria. So you can't negotiate. You can't ask questions. You will be killed or you will be jailed. So what did they do? While we were all talking about Boko Haram expansion under Buhari, we didn't know that Buhari was already releasing Boko Haram fighters because they repented. Are you with me? We didn't know. Nobody knew. So they were releasing captured. When Boko Haram, when Jonathan was president, Ambade was chief of staff or thereabout, or chief of air staff at the time. They were killing, especially the last 6 months before Buhari took over. They were killing Boko Haram fighters. There was even a time that they nearly killed, or they even declared that they have killed Shekau. They captured as many Boko Haram alleged or suspected Boko Haram fighters. We didn't know that when Buhari came in, he already put a program in place called Operation Safe Corridor. Listen to this. When Buhari came in, we didn't know that he already put a program in place for Boko Haram fighters to be freed as long as they claim to have repented. So once you say you have repented, they will put you through that program with Nigerian army. They will say they are rehabilitating you. DSS will be feeding you. They will be clothing you. They will be checking your medical. They will be talking to you. So through that process, they call it de-radicalization. Nigerians didn't know that Buhari made that plan. So Buhari's government was releasing those terrorists. After a few months, they say they have repented. So some of them are in fact joining the army. We didn't know. So in 2017, when they invaded Nnamdi Kanu's house, and you saw them treating Nigerians, at least if the government says there is no Biafra, at least they should recognize them as Nigerians. Why were they treated like pure criminals in Nigeria if they agree that there is no Biafra? It is because they never see them as Nigerians already. And Igbos know that they are not seen or treated as Nigerians in Nigeria. So they want to be identified as Biafrans. So when the soldiers they sent to go and do crocodile python dance, to go and do python dance in the east, we didn't know that 80% of them were repentant or repented Boko Haram fighters. Those who already have the orientation that if you are not a Muslim or their own kind of Islam, you are an infidel. Okay? You are someone who should be killed, or you convert to Islam. The Boko Haram mentality. So they repented and they get drafted into Nigerian army. They keep denying it. But it's true. And since they've started that program, we have lost more Nigerian soldiers to Boko Haram. Not because Boko Haram killed them when they were fighting. Many of our soldiers got killed because they were given wrong intel by their superiors in Abuja. Wrong intel is like saying, Boko Haram fighters are so in so place, and this is how you can round them up and finish them up. Then the same people who gave you that intel, they also gave Boko Haram intel to say this is the route. Nigerian soldiers are going to come and attack you, but they believe that you are here. They believe this is your position, but we have told them this is your position. So Nigerian soldiers are coming, but they won't come through here. They are going to come through that place. Send some of your army to go and double cross them, to go and ambush them. Many of Nigerian soldiers died because information about their their operations were leaked to Boko Haram fighters. How did that happen? There is a program in Nigerian army that allowed repentant Boko Haram fighters to be forgiven and then rehabilitated and reintroduced into the society. And since we have been doing it, Buhari's government have released over 4,900 repentant Boko Haram fighters. They are in 2 batches. They said some were caught Boko Haram fighters that repented. Some were those caught, arrested as Boko Haram fighters, but they found out that they were not Boko Haram fighters. So therefore they released them. So those who were Boko Haram fighters, those suspected to be Boko Haram fighters, but they were not Boko Haram fighters, Buhari's government have released over 4,900 terrorists and suspected terrorists back into the society. Some of them have been drafted into Nigerian military for special operations and for special operations, like going to the east to stop Nnamdi Kanu from having IPOB. So what happened? They sent terrorists to go and kill Nigerians. They were interested, they have been killing Nigerians anyway. Now, Nigeria government under Buhari, with the permission of Abba Kyari, they gave license to kill to Nigerian soldiers. They killed, and they continue to kill the Biafrans in the east right now, because that's what they see them as. They see them as enemies who want to reduce Buhari's influence. They didn't vote for Buhari, despite the fact that Buhari will always win. If you meet an average northerner, he is going to tell you that Buhari will always win with or without Igbos. So if you know you can always win your election, you can always elect your president, you can always do whatever you want with power, with or without Igbos, then let them go. They are useless to you. So how can you say people who are useless to you, they are not useful? You are keeping them, but when you meet an average Buhari Din or Buhari Didiri, an average Buhari Dinotu or Buhari Dijatu, a northern base Buhari Din, Buhari Didiri as well, will tell you, because he want to make himself feel good, he want to make himself feel superior, he want to make himself feel better, and he will jump at it and say, Igbos will remain our slave forever. You are already a slave. You just believe, you thought not being an Igbo man makes you at least better. But you are already a slave too. And that is just the honest truth. The Igbos are rejecting that slave tag. That is why they are fighting your own slave masters. You see those politicians you are worshipping. There are some Biafra IPOB members are calling names. Even though they are calling all of us names now, they call me names too. Because I'm a Yoruba man, and we have Yoruba politicians that will tell you, with or without Igbos, they can always elect any president in Nigeria. It's true, they can always rig it. The system is programmed that way. With or without Igbo, they can always elect their own president in Nigeria. So they are not useful to you. They are not useful to Nigeria. So the Igbos are the only tribe publicly in Nigeria right now. They are doing it ferociously. They are doing it with so much bang. They are the only tribe right now publicly rejecting the slavery of Nigeria slave masters. Why are you defending them? Why do you think you are better than them? Because you have accepted your own slavery. You are a Nigerian, a proud Nigerian. Clap for yourself. A proud Nigerian. That is what you say sometimes. You feel like you are a proud Nigerian. Because you have accepted the slavery. You have accepted that reality. But they won't. They say they won't. They don't want it. We don't want that reality. We don't want that slavery. We don't want to be called Nigerians. We don't want to be tagged Nigerians. But you are now celebrating their killings. Them being killed by terrorists that Buhari gave license to kill. License to kill. Do you know that Buhari can give that same license to kill to those same terrorists to kill you in Yoruba land? To kill you in Nupe land. The same license or unofficial license that the Nigerian government gives to bandits. The same license that Buhari's government gave to Miyeti Allah for Fulani herdsmen It's the same license to kill you. They will kill you anyway. You will still be killed. But it is only the Igbos that are publicly, they are publicly rejecting that slave tag. Why are you offended? Why are you angry? Because you are not Igbo. Why are you angry? They said they don't want to be called Nigerians. It's a simple thing. You want to be called Nigerians. Good luck to you. Then you look at them. You watched the slave masters in Nigeria used the Nigeria resources that they can't use to give you free education. They can't use to give you standard education. They can't use it to build standard medical facilities for you. The same resources that they can't use to build good roads. They can't use that resources to even give you national airline, Air Nigeria, a pride that should make you feel proud Nigerian. They are doing it again. They are flagging this broadcast. We will continue as long as they let us. So they didn't use the money to build schools. They didn't use the money to do all of this. They used the money to arm terrorists. Then they sent them on a killing spree. They killed, they tortured, they dehumanized, they publicly dehumanized Nigerians because they choose not to be called Nigerians but Biafrans. Then they use that opportunity to show the force of, the show of force. Some of you celebrated them. Some of you, indeed, said it was the right thing to do. Nobody, no president will allow anybody to break up the country. It's not done, even though you are educated. Yeah. You pretend to be educated. Some of you pretend to be educated anyway. Some of you. But do you know how fucked up you are? For some of you who have stood your ground over time to to continue to tell yourself that Nigeria will be better. You are one Nigeria. We need to love Nigeria. We shouldn't let our leaders make us hate Nigeria. Nobody is stopping you from loving Nigeria until they kill you and you become part of the story of those who also tried, who thought leadership was the problem of Nigeria. We're not knowing that there is actually no Nigeria. It is a complete mirage. It is a complete mirage. So defending them, standing your ground, and watch your fellow human beings being slaughtered, dehumanized, women being dragged by soldiers who don't even speak their language. Imagine you send soldiers to stop and kill Nnamdi Kanu, and anybody who try to stop you from killing Nnamdi Kanu in the east, and you know that people will try to stop you from killing Nnamdi Kanu, then you travel down prepared to kill everybody, including women and children. And the man that gave that order finally died alone. Alone. No family member. No time to say goodbye. No nothing. And you want us to start crying and start feeling like human being. Abaki, I wish you remember it can be your turn tomorrow. Being nice, boogie you there. Being nice, showing empathy, kill you there. That's the right thing I believe you deserve. Do not blackmail us to be that. They killed. Omoyele Sowore, the man that many of you have you have loved to hate. Everyone has a story, like I say. You know what I mean now? Omoyele Sowore, just like Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, feel like it is over for Nigeria. Don't waste your time. Stop wasting your time over a dead us. It's gone. All these things all of you are trying to keep. It's just to keep those who are feeding from Nigeria to continue to enjoy the straw that they all glued to their mouth, feeding fat from Nigeria. There is no Nigeria. It is complete fake lie that they have told over again and again and again. Then Sowore, like those before him, felt like maybe we can actually do something. Maybe we can actually salvage the problem. Maybe if we come together, this time around, maybe we can actually stop them or even force them to do the right thing. Boom, second half. Abba Kyari, you know his office is next to that of Buhari. Abba Kyari jumped up. A wicked old man. Boom, 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 Megida. There's another boy, you. There's another boy, you. You know what we did to Nnamdi Kanu? We have managed to at least keep our terrorist soldiers in the east. They have mounted their different roadblocks everywhere. So after the Nnamdi Kanu saga, we just left them there in case if anything happened again. Another one, don't they happen again, oh? And lifeless Buhari from where he's sleeping, snoring. Because he didn't even know if he's the president. So Buhari, when they told him that, hey, there's another one, no, he snored up and said, where? Which another one? In Nigeria, you know you are still the president of Nigeria. Because Buhari doesn't even know if he's still the president, by the way. For those who know him very well, he doesn't even know if he's still the president. So they need to keep reminding him that every day. In fact, from what I was told, they had to hire someone to keep reminding Buhari that Buhari is still the president. He doesn't know if he's president. So what happened? They want to take over your presidency. They want to take over power. Who is that again? I thought you said you have killed that Kanu. He always called Kanu. That's why he called Kanu. When they asked him that, Buhari, why do you arrest Nnamdi Kanu? Why do you want to kill Nnamdi Kanu? He said Nnamdi Kanu was too young to know what happened in the Nigerian Civil War. So therefore, Nnamdi Kanu want to start another war. Nnamdi Kanu wants Nigeria to fight another. Meanwhile, Nnamdi Kanu is not asking Nigeria to fight another war. Nnamdi Kanu is saying, if Nigeria will stop them from going, they have every right to defend themselves, including harming themselves to defend their territory to the last person in Biafra land. That is not a threat to Nigeria. It is just to tell you that you, big brother, don't bully us. Don't threaten us. Don't make us look like you can do and undo. If you bully us, if we leave Nigeria and you bully us, if you come after us, we will defend ourselves. That's what should be expected anyway. We will defend ourselves. That was Nnamdi Kanu's message. That's just what I believe in his message. We want to live. And we know you may come after us. If you come after us, we will fight back. This time around, we will fight more than how we fought in the Civil War. They asked Buhari, why do you want to kill, why are you killing the Igbos? Why are you killing all these young men and women who are agitating for Biafra? He said Nnamdi Kanu wanted to start a new civil war because that is what Abba Kyari told him. He is a lifeless human being. You pay him to come out every day just to show you that he is still alive and he is still the president. And that is why some of our, or let me even say many of our Biafran brothers, IPOB members believe that Buhari is not Buhari, but Jibri, a fake Buhari from Sudan. That is why that theory really gelled a lot. Because for those who know Buhari very well, the Buhari that contested election in 2015 is not the same Buhari that is in power today. The reason is because immediately after Buhari's operation in London, the Buhari that is ruling Nigeria is no longer the Buhari that actually contested election and won. The Buhari that contested election in 2015 was already giving sign or showing sign of dementia. Okay? So after that operation, after that serious sickness, even when Buhari came back to Nigeria after that, he said he has never been sick in his life. You saw his video when he arrived in Nigeria after 3 months. You saw him, when he looked like a skeleton, right? So because of that, Buhari is lifeless since then. They had to remind him that he is the president every day, so that at least if they need to bring him out to face camera, he can pretend to be president as well. So Abba Kyari had to go and tell Buhari that Sowore wanted to take over. Say, which one is Sowore again? He didn't even know. So just do what you have to do. So that is why they unleashed the Nigerian security agents and Nigerian security forces against Sowore. It wasn't just Sowore. They arrested many people, served long time in DSS detention that many people didn't even know that they have been arrested by DSS simply because they are associated with take it back, Showore's take it back. Because to them, it's a threat. Assuming Showore had the same reach, the same clout, and the same command like Nnamdi Kanu, the same way Nnamdi Kanu will always ask everyone to come out or will ask everyone to stay home and the whole East will shut down. Assuming Showore for take it back movement, assuming Showore command that same followership and that same reach, they won't arrest Showore the same they did in the hotel. They will kill people. They will shoot people because they know that the IPOB members, they know they give up. The IPOB members, they will continue to repeat the same thing again and again and again and again. They don't care. The more you try to stop them, the more they multiply. And they are so good at it. Talk of propaganda, we come very well. They are the ones that are giving Buhari's propaganda government the run for their money. So assuming the same thing, and they know that people are ready to die for Nnamdi Kanu. If people have guns, if IPOB members, the genuine IPOB members in the East, if they have access to guns, and they are allowed to go ahead and use guns, my brothers and sisters, you will beg your brother in Nigerian army to please leave Nigerian army. Not because of Boko Haram, but because what they will face in the East, trying to fight or trying to stop the Biafrans. If they have control, if they have access to guns, if they get pushed, that they pick up guns, they are ready to die. And we know it. We have seen it. Forget Facebook. Thank you to those who brought some of the videos to us on Facebook. We saw things. They are ready to die. Assuming Showore has that same control, that Showore could tell everybody, take it back. We are going to do it on this date. And Nigerians should listen to him. By now, instead of people going to jail, instead of us posting hashtag free mandate, free Showore, free this, free that, some of us will be typing RIP, rest in peace. Even at that, they still killed about 3-4 people simply because of take it back. And they arrested, kidnapped, and jailed so many. Showore himself had to be in jail for over 5 months. You know why? Because the moment they heard take it back, protest, yay, they want to take over, they want to take over. Remember 1986, so remember 1986, so that's how they destroyed Buhari's dream. Oh, that's why they didn't allow Buhari to take Nigerians to the poverty capital of the world in 1986. So hey, they want to stop us again. Oh, they won't let us take these people to the poverty capital of the world. Shineke, oh yeah, go after them. Action. And who did the job? This time around, they used another surrogate, another proxy. IG, the Inspector General of Police. All of a sudden, you needed a permission to protest in Nigeria. You needed police permit to protest in Nigeria. And guess what? They are artsmen. They are Facebook bandits. They are social media artsmen. They agree with them too. And now, you need police permit. There is no country that is going to allow you to protest and say you want to overthrow government. There is no, because that's how they are programmed. They are humble slaves. They are obedient fools. They are sophisticated morons. For those of you who don't understand these names, I will come back later before the end of the broadcast. I will tell you the meaning of the names again, because some of you are joining me for the first time and all these names are sounding funny to you. They have meaning. I will tell you their meaning. But the veterans of Maiyegun's diary before the suspension, and those who have been following Maiyegun for a very long time, they know the meaning of the names. In 2014, when Boko Haram and his gang of criminals and terrorists were in the opposition, Buhari led the protest. And in fact, before 2014, when Buhari and Shuba Okadigbo were running for office in 2007, if I'm not mistaken, Buhari was organizing a protest in Kano. And the president of Nigeria at the time was Olusegun Obasanjo. And they ordered that they should be tear gassed in Kano, and they should disband that protest, and disband that rally in Kano, where Buhari and other opposition leaders were in attendance. Then Buhari ran to Lagos to go and meet Femi Falana. Femi Falana was commissioned to challenge the Nigerian police in court. The Nigerian law, if there is any, that says you must take police permission before you can stage a protest in Nigeria. It doesn't matter. See, let me tell you something. The Nigerian law allows you to just say, "Hey, let's meet in Oshogbo tomorrow. We are just going to protest against the governor." It doesn't matter. Why do you want to protest against the governor? It's none of your business. In democracy, we can just come out and say, you know what? Let us go out. You guys, you don't have job. Why are you protesting? Yes, we don't have job. We are okay. In fact, we want to protest because we don't have job. That is democracy. You are allowed to. You don't need to call police. You don't need to tell anybody. You can tell. But if you think people might hijack the protest and turn it to violence, then the police will be invited. Whether you invite them or not, anyway, the moment they see the advert that says you want to organize a protest, they must come there and protect you. It doesn't matter. Whether you now take the microphone and start calling Tinubu names, and start calling the governor names, and start calling the Buhari name, it doesn't matter. Do your thing. Go home. Government will hear you. And if you decide to shut down some places simply because you are protesting as well, they will allow you to do it for some minutes. Government, they shouldn't kill you or shoot you for doing that. So, but in Nigeria, Abba Kyari gave order to Buratai the Butcher, Maiduguri James Bond. And Buratai the Butcher gave his own order to Ajana Mosquito, the police IG. And the next thing, oh boy, come and see hungry policemen everywhere. Oh. Hungry policemen, they are everywhere. They are threatening Nigerians, telling them if you come out tomorrow, there should be no protest, this and that. If you come out tomorrow, we are going to arrest you. It's against the law. We did not permit the police. In democracy. Mumu Madus, Bele lecturers, Mumu lecturers, they said it was true. That's how it should be. Yeah, that's what it should be. You cannot protest without collecting police permission. You know what happened? Buhari ran to Lagos. Femi Falana went to court, challenged the Nigerian police in court, got a court judgment that says you don't need police permission to protest anywhere, to protest against anything. You can wake up and start protesting. It's your right. Nobody should arrest you. Nobody should bully you. Nobody should attack you. The Nigerian police did not agree with the court order. They went on, they appealed the case. On appeal, they lost. Even the court also gave Buhari judgment that the Nigerian police should pay Buhari for disrupting Buhari's protest in Kano in 2007. That in fact, his then vice presidential candidate, Okadigbo, died from the gas he inhaled from the from the canisters. They always shoot anyway whenever there's riots. So Buhari won in court. Buhari went to court because he had no power. He had no power to go and protest, that nobody can stop him. He went to court. Court gave him that right, that he could protest. Buhari enjoyed that. Then Buhari became president. If you then want to protest for take it back, you are enemy of Nigeria. The Shiites, we watch it live on video. How they killed the Shiites in Abuja. You saw the video. How they shot at them. How they moved the presidential security task force. The special task force protecting the president. They were those mobilized to the street of Abuja, and they killed. They shot so many Shiites on broad daylight. You all saw the video. Simply because they said the Shiites were protesting the arrest of their leader. So same thing happened. they mobilized. Buhari mobilized police. Abba Kyari, who is the acting president, gave approval that the police should go out and arrest all Nigerians. They beat journalists. They arrested people because of Take It Back. And Omoyele Sowore was kidnapped in the middle of the night, even before the protest, even before the revolution. In a democracy. And you see people that have been they have been bastardized. They have been bullied. They have been destroyed mentally due to the military mentality, the military rule in Nigeria, which force us to obey before we even ask questions. They say obey first before you ask questions. Military mentality. In a democracy, you are allowed to do all of this, but we have now brought in that military mentality into democracy. They redefined it and they turned the democracy to dictatorship. If there is hellfire, if there is heaven, as we have been told, definitely Abba Kyari will rot in hell. It will rot. If there's a way he will die again and again and again, if there's a way his body can be cut into pieces and flung to the dogs who are guiding hellfire, there's no point in roasting him in hellfire. They should just cut his body into pieces and feed his body to the dogs who are guiding the gate of hellfire. Yes, I say that. And you can go to hell too if you are offended by that. Okay? So what they did was that they mobilized. A protest became a threat. Placards became guns in the face of Nigeria government under Buhari. If you are holding a placard, to them you are holding a gun. You deserve to be killed. They took liberty of people away from them. And today, they turned everybody to Okoto Meo. Okoto Meo. All the human rights activists in Nigeria in 2015, they have become human rights cash TVists. Everybody is now cashing out on this Buhari era where dictatorship have been redefined. So do not let anybody drag you to make you feel sympathy, to have sympathy, empathy. If you want to have it, because we are all made of different materials, by the way. So yes, you can feel sympathy for them if you want to, but do not be blackmailed into it. I'm going to stop here for now. Sorry that I couldn't take calls. I'm going to stop here for now, and then watch out for the third part of this series. Why you must never feel sorry for any politician that might that may get killed. The ones that died, or whichever one that will die later because of coronavirus. Many of them will die of many other things apart from coronavirus. They will die of diabetes. They are dying, by the way. Some of them are alive today because they have flogged Nigerian money to their system. It is this thing that is, it is the only thing, the blood that is keeping them alive. If you unplug Nigeria resources from their system, they will die within weeks. Some of them. So don't feel sorry for them, and do not feel guilty if you don't feel sorry for them. So sorry that I couldn't take calls today. I received a call before the beginning and before the start of the broadcast. It is from a fan from Houston, Texas, and he indeed advised, and he wanted me to tell you and tell the world that MC Oluomo, if you are watching this video or you happen to see this video or anybody finally show you this video, and all of you who are NURTW leaders in Nigeria, before we come for you, thank God some churches are already reaching out to the poor people. Daystar Church in Lagos, wonderful, Sam Adeyemi, is not just giving food to the to the members of his church who are likely to be affected by the coronavirus lockdown. Sam Adeyemi of Daystar Church is not just giving food. He is in fact crediting the account of not so rich members of his church. I don't know if that is random, but there are so many members of his church who have received support from the church cover. 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira for some. I have seen evidence. That's why I'm talking about it. I have seen so many other churches in Nigeria too who have also come in to support and reach out to their church members during this period. Okay, so which is great. So In fact, one sec. Let me check this. This. So now we will talk to this NURTW, the Uproad, the National, all of you right now. Your drivers, many of them are not working. Some of your agberos, those boys who are collecting money for you on the street, now that everybody is staying at home, some of them are going to turn to armed robber. MC Oluomo, at least you are a billionaire too. You make your money every day. Talk to the Jaga Bandit of Lagos, the Orisha Eko, Olowo Eko now, Jaga Bandit Bola Ahmed Tifnumbu of Lagos. Make una connect with one another. Those who are going to begin to rob people, those who are going to begin to come into your houses to carry your pot of soup. Some of them are going to be the former Okada riders. Some of them are going to be former Danfo bus conductors. Some of them are going to be former drivers. Don't be surprised if you see that guy who was doing well. He was a driver. Now he's been arrested for armed robbery because he needs to survive. He make money every day. That is why he's been that good guy, responsible father on that street. Since the lockdown, every one of them is also on lockdown. MC Oluomo, reach out to them. Don't send them bag of rice. Lagos Sanwo-Olu is already doing that. Some of them will eat food donated by kind-hearted Nigerians. MC Oluomo and your team, all over Lagos, all over the place where the National have been collecting money from garages. It is time to be good to your brothers. Stop now that we won't even have parties. Some of you will have to go to parties and spend 5 million and share the video on Instagram to show to your followers how rich you are. Show them your new latest automobiles. I know you are saving a lot of money that you are going to flex with after the lockdown. But at least for you to continue to enjoy that money, because we know the status quo will continue. We know the agberos will come back. We know you will continue to collect your money from the street. But can you please save the life of those who are collecting the money for you and those who will be paying the drivers? Those who are on lockdown right now, Lagosians who are at home, some of them are now vigilantes. They are now most of them are now taking shifts. They will say, who is guiding our street this evening? They say, is it your shift tonight? Say, no, I did last night now. I finished at 3 a.m. Say, okay, that's my turn then. It's my turn. Everybody is turning to vigilante in Lagos now. You know why? Some of the conductors, Okada riders, Danfo drivers, some of them have not been able to feed themselves in the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Reach out to them as much as you can, as many as you can. That will reduce everybody turning to vigilante in Lagos. Before you know it, MC, we may get a story that you are also attacked by hoodlums, desperate Lagosians who believe that if they hold you, they will get something. At the end of the day, I hope they will listen to this. I know they won't, but let's just say it. I promised that my caller that I was going to say something about it, and then thank God I remember, and I will still say something about it in my subsequent series. Now, my friends, consider this second video as the second in the series of videos and live broadcasts that I'm going to bring to you to educate you more on the consequences of the actions of the politicians in Nigeria and why, whenever those consequences comes back to either kill them or make them sick, do not let anybody blackmail you into feeling sorry for them. You didn't make them sick. You are not going to make them ill. You are not going to actually heal them. You are not going to be the one who is going to make them feel better. So you have no role in it. If you want to feel happy that they are dead, my brothers and sisters, play yourself I don't care after this broadcast. Okay? Go on YouTube. Type it into YouTube. I don't care by whoever sang the song and dance if that's how you feel. Don't guilt trip yourself and don't guilt trip others. Okay? We are all victims of their own incompetence, corruption, and greed. Nobody should blackmail you into feeling sorry for them. This is the second episode 2 of series 1 of why you should never, ever, ever feel sorry for any politicians in Nigeria, no matter how much they pretend to do right. Only few who deserve that will be mentioned so that we don't just make it look like they are all like evil, even though we know that 99.9% of are all evil. The good ones among them, every good they do, is a mistake, is an error. That moment they do that good, the next thing is going to be entitlement. They will begin to ask you, you are not even appreciative, you are not even grateful. The few ones that pretend to be good, they are mad. This is episode 2 of series 1. We are coming back with episode 3. So you can start putting this in your diary now. When I come next, I will open more chapters on why you must never, ever, ever be bullied into agreeing that there is any good man among them at all. If they were good, Nigeria would be great. So wherever Abba Kyari is right now, his soul, may it face exact thing that all Nigerians who are dead and those who are alive, those who are dead, what they faced, those who are alive, what they are facing, may the soul of Abba Kyari face that. Thank you very much for your time this evening. I will see you some other time when next I'm free. I won't be free again until Wednesday, but we'll see how about that. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the evening. Good evening.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n ní ràn.
Sorry that I didn't take your calls today. I'll take calls some other time.
Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n ní ràn. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀ o, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Wọ́n fowó bẹ́ẹ̀, Maiyegun ó sọ pé wọ́n ò bẹ́ẹ̀. Oníkanṣá ti ṣe èyí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, fáwọn ará ìlú tó gbé wọn débẹ̀ o, àgbáyé. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé.
Thank you.
Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n ní ràn. Ìmọ̀ ìṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe fẹ̀. Ìmọ̀ ìṣeré ọ̀rọ̀ yìí kì í ṣe fẹ̀. Ẹ̀yin bá ti lè lẹ́bọ̀ lẹ́rù o, ọmọ bá dèrò kàṣà ìtú wọn síta yé. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n ní ràn. Tẹnitẹni ọmọ Maiyegun ọ̀rẹ́ ara ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni mo fọlọ́ sọ ẹ̀ bá kìlẹ́bù. Lóòótọ́ olódodo ìlú ọ̀tá ìlú mọ̀mọ́ ni ìwọ ṣá máa ń ṣọ́ra kò sì mọ́ bẹ̀rù. Bọ́tà lè rí bóníṣègùn lé káwọn mọ̀mọ́ fi ṣera wọn ni ó ti dẹrùn tí wọn ò gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Mo dẹrùn tẹ́ ẹ gbọ́dọ̀ sè mọ́ bẹ́ẹ̀.
Èèpo ọ̀bọ̀lọmọ bá dé lọ́tàjẹ́ ò gbọ́dọ̀ jẹ́. Ó ti dọba lórí àbínú ẹni kò sì mọ́ fòyà. Àìsíwọ́lu ní ẹnìkẹ́ ìgbódì ẹyin lábàrá o, ó kó ẹni tó bá dán wò á kàwé. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì o. Ẹni bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dèrò òní fi wọ́n ní ràn o. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Maiyegun ti dé, gbogbo ọ̀jẹ̀lú ẹ̀ súnra kì. Ṣùgbọ́n ní bá ti ṣe yìí tó yẹ kí wọ́n ṣe, ọmọ bá dẹ́rọ̀ òní fi wọ́n ní ràn.
Thank you. So for those of you who are just joining me, you can watch the video over again. And for those of you who are going to watch from YouTube, you can go on to YouTube now. Maiyegun's Diary on YouTube. Follow my Maiyegun's Diary. Follow the page and then subscribe rather. Just click on the subscribe button and then put on your notification. So whenever I'm live, you will be able to also join and contribute. For those of you who prefer to watch this on YouTube, you can go on now and watch the replay on YouTube. Thank you very much for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day. I'll see you again. Good night.